What is going on, guys? Steven here. Welcome to the channel, baby. Iconic Dynas, man. I'm really excited to be starting this channel. It's been a long time coming. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's actually my second attempt at trying to start a YouTube channel. The first one that I started, I was in Hawaii. The views were great. I really wish that I would have posted more content while I was stationed out there. I still have clips, so I'm gonna definitely be sharing some of that with you guys. But I'm starting my channel now. I'm really excited. I want to push out a whole bunch of content. I got all these ideas just flowing. But in this video, I'm just gonna be telling you guys about, setting the expectations as what you guys can expect from my channel. So I'm gonna be doing, a whole bunch of product reviews because obviously I got a whole bunch of brand new parts on my bike now after the build is officially completed. I'm gonna be doing some ride alongs, some moto vloggings, that type of stuff. So, we'll see how the channel continues to grow and where I take it, but that's kind of some of the stuff that you guys can expect in the meantime. But I want to show you guys my bike, man. The bike is officially completed. I want to share that with you guys. And yeah, so let's get right into it. So this right here, guys, is my 2013 Harley Davidson, and I'm intentionally not telling you guys the model of this bike because I want to see if you guys can figure it out. I want you guys to leave a comment down below and let me know what model you think this is. Believe it or not, I took this bike to the Harley Davidson dealership because I wanted to go and get it washed after, just having all kinds of grease and oil on this bike from working on it for the last 7 months. I took it down there to get it washed. The guy who was washing the bike, I asked him what bike he thought this was, and the first thing he said was a Street Bob. So y'all let me know, does this look like a Street Bob? I know the Street Bob owners are probably like, no, that's not a Street Bob. And yeah, it's not a Street Bob. But to help you guys out, if you guys Google the 5 Harleys that came with a 180 rear tire, you guys can look at those pictures and kind of look at what I'm showing you guys right now and take your best guess as to what model you think this is. But let's look at some of the parts that I have put into this bike, man. So first off, I think the most obvious is probably the wheels. So the wheels that I went with, these are replicated wheels, and I'm gonna tell you what, man, I am really happy with these wheels, man. They look way better, and they meet all the expectations that I had on how this bike completely turned out. So I was obviously going for spoke wheels, but I wanted to do something different, not try to find like low rider wheels and try to throw those on there. So I wanted to throw my own little spin on it, and I'm really glad with the way that Replicator came out with these wheels, man. These are the Talon wheels, and I'm running an 18 in the rear and I'm running a 19 in the front. So it looks really good with the low profile tire in the front. Instead of like getting a thicker, taller tire, I wanted to go with a slim look. So this is kind of like the look that you would get off of like a Road Glide. I'm pretty sure the Road Glide runs the similar setup. I know they run a 19 and an 18, but that's kind of the look that I was trying to go for because I seen it and I thought, you know what, I like the low profile look. Now for the exhaust system, I am currently running Vance & Hines short shots. Now I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this because they're probably gonna be like, you don't get any horsepower out of those. And yes, I know, but when I was building this bike, I had a budget in mind and I didn't want to go over that budget, but I definitely wanted to get rid of the stock exhaust system that came on this bike. And the most, cost-friendly option that I had was these Vance & Hines short shots. Honestly, I think they look good and I think they sound great. I really like the sound of it, but obviously it's from a power perspective, it doesn't really add any power, which is why in the near future, I definitely will be upgrading these, probably going with like a Bassani 2-in-1 or probably a TBR. Now for the paint job, I went with a powder coat. So this is actually a powder coat. And I don't know if you guys can see that. This is a heavy metallic, and man, that thing looks nice. So this is a King Sport Gray. That is the powder coat that I went with. King Sport Gray, heavy metallic color. I had to get this paint match because it's made out of plastic, but the guy who did it obviously knew what he was doing because he was able to really get it to match to the point where I can't even tell the difference. And I don't think anybody else can tell the difference unless they've been painting for a while. But I went with a powder coat because it's much tougher than regular paint. It's gonna last longer, it's scratch resistant, and it just made sense to me instead of getting the paint. And it was actually way cheaper as well. Now the other thing is this engine, the rocker covers used to be chrome, and I hate chrome. I absolutely hate chrome. I'm not one of those old guys that likes to chrome and likes to polish and spend all the time doing that shit on the weekend. I want to go and ride my bike. So I ended up going with powder coat. So this is like a wrinkled black to match the motor, and then I went with gloss black. I did a combination of that all around the bike. So as you can see, the triple trees also has that wrinkled black on it. But yeah, man, I think it looks really good. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Now for the suspension, I know you guys can see it, man. I know you guys see that. The Legends? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I ended up going with the Legends suspension. I'm running with a 14 shock in the rear, and I also got the dropped-in cartridges in the front. And man, it has completely changed the way that this bike rides. Honestly, this bike kind of feels like a sport bike when I'm hitting like corners and stuff like that. It just handles it very well. It completely eliminated the nosedive that you get from, you know, the stock suspension. So that's definitely been a really big plus for me. And yeah, I really love it. So I don't think that you can go wrong with going with Legends suspension. And on top of that, they come with a lifetime warranty. So yeah, it's really good. Plus that's what all the stunt guys are rocking on their bikes. So obviously it's good quality and it holds up to that kind of beating that they be putting on their bikes. So yeah, so the other mod that I did to this was the seat. So you guys probably think, oh, he got a Saddleman seat. Nope, this is not a Saddleman seat. This is actually a seat from Amazon. And the reason that I got this seat is because it just made sense and it was something that was in the budget. Now, I'll be honest, I do have a friend of mine who has a Saddleman seat. I got on his bike and it honestly didn't feel that much of a difference. So to me, it was like, okay, I could spend $400 on a seat, or I can just go with this $150 seat that really feels the same, it looks the same, and I'll have some money left over for other parts that I was already planning to buy. So that's the seat that I got. So if you are interested in that one, the link will be down in the description. If you want to upgrade your seat, but you don't want to necessarily spend $400 on a Saddleman seat, this is a really good option. Now, the other thing that I did was I relocated the gauge. So as you guys can see, the gauge is now on the handlebar, which I just think is a lot more functional. I really don't know why Harley is still putting their gauges on the center console, why you gotta look down when you're riding. It just makes a lot more sense to literally put it up here where you can just, you know, move your eyes down a little bit and you can see how fast you're going. This gauge is also from Harley. This is a really nice gauge. I was trying to run the dual gauge setup, but at the time I couldn't find the gauges that I needed to run this for this specific model. So if I can find one in the future, I would definitely be switching to the dual. I still have all the hardware to run the dual, so at some point, if I can get those gauges, they've been on back order for like a year now. So we'll see, man. If I can find them, definitely swap over. Now the next mod is the handlebar setup. So the handlebar setup, I am running a Bitwell 10-inch riser with a tracker die, I believe is what it was called. It's a tracker die handlebar. It's like one of those like MX style handlebars, but it gives it a 2-inch rise. So the 10-inch with 2-inch rise is obviously a total of 12 inches. I think it feels very comfortable. I honestly wouldn't mind going with something just a bit taller, but for the time being, it fits me perfect. I think the ride height is perfect, but again, I wouldn't mind it being just a tad bit harder. So if I could do that differently, I probably would have went with a 12-inch riser instead of the 10. But it looks good. Now the other thing that I did was I got these from Harley. These are the fuel cap gauge that you get that are pretty much flush with the tank. I think that really looks good. That's definitely one of my favorite mods, easily. I also got this. I think the company that makes this is 47 State. Like I said, guys, I can't remember everything, but the link to everything will be down in the description. But yeah, so I got these from 47 State. I went and powder coated this, the wrinkled black as well. I replaced this one because it used to be chrome. I don't like chrome, so I don't want that much chrome on my bike. I'm cool with like the bolts and stuff being chrome, but yeah, I just don't really like chrome. I'm not a big fan of chrome. So for the rear, I ended up going with LEDs here. And I also got the LED headlight in the front from Moon's MC. I really like this. I even got this little strip here. This was from Harley Davidson. Really nice. I really like the way that looks. The LEDs and everything just really complements the bike. And the headlight is super bright, man. I really like it. Let me show you guys how bright this thing is. You guys probably won't be able to tell because it's very bright outside, but I don't know if you guys can see that. So you guys can see that it's got the rings in it. And this bike is leaning like crazy. I even try to upgrade the kickstand to like a add another 2 inches, but the bike still leans a lot, and that's just because of the suspension that I got on here. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think so far, man. Let me know what you guys think. Did I nail it or not really? I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it, man. But I'm gonna throw a clip of the bike that really inspired this bike up on the screen just so you guys can see. This is a bike that I seen when I was out in Hawaii. I went to Cycle City and I saw that bike and just thought like, man, that is a very, very nice bike. The guy was from California, so he did the whole club style thing. And I just saw the bike and just thought like, that's the kind of build that I want to do when I get a shot. And that's exactly what I went with when I was starting to build my bike up. Now, as far as some of the things that I still want to do to this bike, I definitely want to dig into the engine at some point. I want to really build up the motor. I think the bike looks good. I don't think I want to do anything else to, you know, enhance the look. I think it's right where it needs to be, but I definitely want to start digging into some performance. I want to build up the motor. I want to do a chain conversion. And yeah, I mean, I definitely want to just have like the whole package. Right now, I think it looks good, but the motor is still stock, so I obviously need some work. But we're gonna get it there, man. We're gonna get it there, and I hope that you guys want to see when it gets there. So if you guys do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. But guys, that's pretty much it, man. That's my bike. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing it. I hope you guys think I nailed it. If I did, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to also leave your best guess as to what model this is. I'm going to be revealing what model it is in my next video. So if you guys really want to find out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that you guys don't miss when I push out that next video. All in all, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you want to see more of this bike. I hope you want to get on this YouTube journey with me. If you do, I appreciate it. But it's a nice day out, as you guys can see. So I'm going to call it right here, and I'm going to take my bike out for a ride, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.